Hi, this is Isabella Getahun with 5 Minute Mentors. I'm here interviewing Jeanette Rice. So,
Right.
Rice. So, tell me, what exactly do you do?
I am a morning anchor for Fox 5 in Washington, D.C. I start my show at 6 o'clock in the morning. I wrap up at 11 and I give the news of the day and do live interviews.
And how long have you been in that profession?
I have been in journalism for 10 years.
What are some struggles you've faced in your line of work?
I would say confidence. You've got to give off an air of confidence, whether you're anchoring or reporting, when you're doing these live shots, kind of an air of authoritativeness. And so feeling confident and comfortable in myself, it took a little bit. It just takes practice and eventually you get more comfortable.
So, other than practice, do you do exercises to perhaps gain more confidence?
It's hard in this business because what typically makes you nervous is the live element. And so it's hard to replicate that. What you can do is eliminate the other challenges, meaning, for example, how to better tell your story. For me, it's bullet points or knowing the material really well so that I'm not forgetting right on the spot and I'm getting even more nervous so that I can just focus on my delivery when I already know the subject really well.
And what would you say to people who want to be like you?
If you want to get in this line of work, I would say be really well read. Know your history, enjoy reading books, enjoy writing, and having a good sense and dose of curiosity is helpful.
And why did you choose this job?
I have always been really curious and I enjoy reading and writing. So it came naturally once I chose it. It wasn't until someone had suggested it to me though that I considered it.
What have been your experiences as a female person of color?
I would say it's been mostly positive. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say there's been anything significant that's been negative. When you start out in this business, you do go to really small towns that perhaps you're not very familiar with or might not be as diverse as you're used to. So there's a little bit of culture shock. And that can be a little bit of a challenge if you don't see a lot of people who look like you in the community.
So, was it hard in the small towns, being somewhere you're not, besides the culture shock?
Yeah, I went to Little Rock. I'm from Rhode Island, so it was a big change. That's in Arkansas, and it was not as diverse as I was used to. So you do run into people who um, perhaps are not used to interacting with people like you, and so you just try to educate them, or you develop thick skin.
Did you have a mentor in your life or someone you looked up to?
I would say that's probably one of the top two or three things that helped me in this career, having mentors. It wasn't something I set out to get. I think I naturally just gravitated toward people who were fountains of wisdom, and I'm really big on getting feedback and constructive criticism. So I've had mentors that, gosh, have been my mentors since I graduated from college, who I still talk to often to get advice and stuff like that.
What would you say to the younger you? How would you encourage them, or what would you warn them about?
I would say not to sweat the small stuff. I I think so I think a lot of people are this way. You can be really self-critical and that can rob the joy of a lot of moments. I think looking back, there are a lot of seasons in my life that I would have enjoyed a lot more had I not been so critical of myself, had I focused on the progress and the wins and not the losses.
What were you critical about?
I was critical about my performance, or if I, felt like I could have done better on a story. But I was critical to the point where I would kind of be, bummed out for a while, as opposed to, learn from it and keep it moving. Or even in this business, you're in the public eye a lot, obviously. And so Um, People might criticize you or whatever it is, especially on social media. And I focused on that too much early on instead of just taking it with a grain of salt and moving on.
How have you managed your social media presence? Is it hard? Did you take classes on it or
I
did you?
didn't take classes. I looked at other people as like a cautionary tale, right? So I'm really big on not repeating the mistakes that others make, right? Why do the same thing and end up with the same consequences? So for example, um, I I don't share a lot of my personal business on social media unless there's a greater purpose behind it, whether I'm educating or informing people of something. I don't give my opinion on social media. I was never like that. So even before I got into this business, because you're not supposed to either way, I just don't share too much of myself, and I keep it pretty professional and pretty on the surface. I don't engage in negativity. If there's a negative comment or criticism, I don't engage. I'm very big on the block button. I just don't allow you into my space. And that has gone a really, really long way in terms of just keeping my peace. I will also say one saying I live by is, if you live by the compliments, you'll die from the criticism. Meaning I keep it pretty level. I don't let someone's compliment make my world, and I don't let someone's criticism tear it down. So just have your own sense of identity, independent from what other people think.
And last question, if you could go back in time, what, if anything, would you change?
That's a good question. If I could go back in time, I think I think I would develop more friendships in the markets that I was in. So when you're in this business, you move around a lot. So I was in Little Rock, I was in DC, and then I went to Philly, and then I came back here. Some people move around even more. And because I knew it was very temporary, I didn't develop the friendships that I could have. I just kind of focused on work. And I think I would have done a better job of that.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.